Hey gang, here we are, and we are going through the Back to Health book. The public version is the best kept secret to heal your back pain. Here it is, and tonight this is going to be action packed. Man, if you've been hanging with us the last couple of weeks, we've been going through things showing how medical studies, how spinal structure, stress to the spinal cord, energy moves through the spinal cord because health is energy, the impact that spinal structure in the world that we live in today, how it's impacting us, making us sick, injured, and tonight we're going to go through how it even shortens your lifespan. So check this out. This is all medical stuff. Here's what the hidden secret is and the hidden danger that medicine has already unveiled that they are not telling you that is even affecting your lifespan. Man, that's intense. So check this out. So, hey, we live in a flexion distorted society, right? Technology, we're looking at our phone, we drive, you may sleep on two pillows. So what happens is the more our spine in this world distorts our spine forward, then our upper back starts to round out. Now what happens, even when we have a mild forward head and a mild rounding of our shoulders, which is so common because once you see this, it's like being a chiropractor. It's like parting the veil. It's like a zombie world out there, man. Like we look at people's posture. Oh my God, I can tell you what diseases you have just by the way you're standing. And this doesn't have to be extreme, but just a little bit of flexion distortion, and it stretches your spinal cord. As you bend forward, it stretches your spinal cord like a rubber band, and then it holds there. Now, people think, well, I don't look like that. Yeah, you'd be surprised how you look. And when it stretches it, it's like stretching a rubber band or a bungee cord. It stays tense. Now there's massive tension in your nervous system. The diameter gets smashed. Those nerves get smashed. Now the thing goes from like a fire hose to a garden hose. Future chiropractor, future world changer. Already changing the world. Don't love wild. Love you too, brother. So that's what happens. And now what did we learn? Causes subluxations. These are nerves up here to the heart and lungs. It affects the neck, weakens your immune system. Go back 2 to 3 weeks and check these out on social media. It's pretty freaking amazing what medicine has figured out. So now what happens is, as it bends forward, now gravity, the problem is we're in gravity, it will collapse your spine. So once it starts, it doesn't stay there. No, it doesn't stay there. It keeps getting worse. And when it keeps getting worse, more and more tension, you can see where this is going. So here's a study by an MD, Martin Jugman, and he said, if we regard posture as the result of the dynamic interaction of two factors, 1, gravity, 2, the strength of the structure of your spine, it's not the strength of your muscles. Well, I'll just hold my head back. No, doesn't work. It's your posture is related to the structure of the spine. So once gravity's pulling down, your spine's collapsing, smashing the disc. It's like putting your hand on the front of a water balloon. You put your hand on the front, bulges out the back. Now, weeks ago, we talked about there's 73% of people with disc bulges that may even be pushing into the spinal cord are asymptomatic. But now you have spinal cord stress from the disc from this flexion distortion. So check this out. Basically what it's going to say is you got two opposing forces, right? Your body, your spine trying to stand up, gravity pulling you down, and there's only two words, gravity, 3 words, gravity always wins. Gravity always wins. You're just going to break down and degenerate, and the more you break down, the sicker you get. Now check this out. Here's a medical doctor, 1957. Is that a long time ago? I don't even know how many years. That's almost 70, 67 years ago. Is that a long time? I'm 63. Basically, they've known this my whole freaking life. How about you? In the Journal of the American Medical Association. Does it get any better than that? Are MDs reading their own stuff? It's decades old. That's why I put this in here. So here we go. Clinical impressions suggest that an affirmative answer, that means, well, yep, we figured it out, and it's right every time, Better posture individuals have fewer defects, enjoy better health, here we go, and live longer. They live longer, right, than those with more seriously distorted skeletons. In general, let's just make a general statement here. There's a correlation in body structure, health, and span of survival. What's that mean? The more you even have a slight deviation, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to die, I'm dead. That's how it works. I'm dying, I'm sick, I'm dead, right? So that's how it works, man. You see people all bent over, they can't walk, they have oxygen tanks. Why? Their body is failing, and you don't have to be that old, because you can have a forward head posture, put stress, nerve stress on your heart, which is the most common cause. Right? What causes heart problem? Atherosclerosis, peripheral resistance, arteries are clogged. More commonly, electrical stress. It's like a spasm. If you ever have a tight muscle in your neck or your back or wherever, or your legs or your hamstrings tight, that's a tight muscle. That's nerve, right? The muscle's tight. It won't relax. That's high blood pressure. You ever get a cramp in your calf where, you know, like you went running for the first time and you ran way too far, and then the next day you wake up and your toe hits the ground when you get out of bed. Ah! Spasm. And you're like screaming, trying to stretch your calf out. That's called a heart attack. Your heart is a muscle. Okay? So when you have this forward head posture, man, you're causing massive nerve stress. You don't have to be this old guy person struggling for oxygen, because these are the heart and lungs, and your heart's not working, you're dying of congestive heart failure, and your ankles are swollen, right? It doesn't have to be that. It could be you're 42 years old, you had some anxiety, personal problems, job stress, done. Why? Because your nervous system's already under stress. It can't tolerate it. Why? Because the spinal cord's continually under tension. Because you got a desk job, and we live in a flexion-distorted society, right? Flexion, that's this move right here, is death. Extension is life. Very simple. How do you get these extension curves in your spine, turn your spine from a trickling garden hose, your spinal cord, into a powerhouse fire hose, giving energy to everything in your body, power, immune system? Disease does not exist at a higher energy. It doesn't exist there. It exists at a lower energy. Infection exists as a lower energy. Disease doesn't exist at a higher energy. So check that out. Okay. Now, not only that, the discs degenerate far earlier than the other musculoskeletal tissues. And now we're seeing that this talks about men with disc degeneration tend to have more abdominal aortic calcification, which could be spontaneous death. Hey man, my aorta and my abdomen just blew open, I die. That's it. It's like having an aneurysm in your brain. You don't even know, boom, you're dead. It's over. You just bleed out. So that's a problem. So let's keep going. Now, because of teenagers, now here's the real problem. Put heavy backpacks on teenagers, technology, from morning to night, sitting at desks, working on computers, do all the video games, they do all that stuff. This forward head posture and called hyperkyphotic, this rounded shoulder posture is so common in teenagers now because of the world we live in. And these kids are sick. They're having their body's not oxygenating, they're going to have immune system problems. I mean, they're going to have problems, and it's going to progress. It's going to get worse as they get older. Not just neck and back pain. I mean, shit, that's off. They're having it as teenagers. But you're talking about immune system, autoimmune disease, setting them up for cancer, and that doesn't even include the vaccination policy. We have the most aggressive vaccination policy in the world. I wonder why. Gee, who's making all the cash on that? Do we even need to ask that question? Technology is killing us, man. I think I put that in the title. So let's go on to this one. Now, they did studies where they measure C7, and they draw a line. Where's C7 in relation to your pelvis? And the more forward that is, because your shoulders are rounding and your head goes forward, the less likely, the sicker you are, and the shorter your lifespan. So that means the more you bend forward, you're going to die. And that's the way it is. Spinal cord's under tension, not getting energy out there, your lungs aren't oxygenating, your circulatory system isn't working, your heart's having problems. It's bad news, man. Now here's an article from Spine Journal, one of the top spine journals in the world, medical journal. You say, wow, I got published in Spine. Dude, you're the king. You're the king. Thank you. That's like Moses parting the Red Sea. This is a pretty intense journal right here. Patients with relative kyphosis. What's that mean? Forward bending. Now, when you bend forward up here, what happens? You know that curve, sway back you're supposed to have? You gonna die. That's right. You gonna die. Thank you for contributing. See, we think a lot alike. I love this guy. He's my nephew. So when you bend forward, you also lose a curve in your back. Now you're going to have blown discs. You're going to have discs pushing into the spinal cord, and you have a higher disability. You know, back pain is one of the most common disabilities. People out of work. Why? So where are your kids going, man? They're already hyperkyphotic. Where are you going, sitting down here doing all this stuff? This is where it goes. You screw up your spine, you are out. You get kicked out of life. You know that spirit world you were talking? It might be a good time to go, because if you have that, it ain't going to be a pretty life. So now check this out. Another medical study. Okay, check this out. Journal of the American Geriatric Society. That's the medical journal. Hey, let's see what happens to people when they get old. That's basically it. So as they age, what happens? This is called, in the name of the study, hyperkyphotic. What's that mean? That means you have accentuated rounded shoulders, rounded thoracic curve. Predicts mortality, death, in older community. Dwelling men and women, a prospective study. So check this out. Check out this conclusion. In age and sex adjusted analysis, persons with hyperkyphotic, that's an increased thoracic posture, had a 44% greater rate of mortality. 44% more. With increasing kyphotic posture. Why? Because once you go like this, put on a gravity, collapse, collapse, collapse. Why? It's like holding a bowling ball out here. Man, you just can't hold it up anymore. That's what's happening to your spine, because gravity always wins. 3 words. Gravity always wins. That's why you need these angles in your spine, because now gravity, your spine wins. You want your spine to win because you have a spinal cord that goes down the middle of your spine that's carrying energy from the brain to every cell and organ in your body, and that's why you are alive. Right? It's that life force energy in the nerves. How do you know it's the life force energy? Well, 1, you can measure it. 2, when I was in chiropractic school, we were assigned a dead body, and what did we have to do? You see the little pins with the little flags stabbed in the nerves, and we had with the number 32. Question number 32: what nerve is this? Dead people have nerves. What they don't have is energy in the nerves. Energy is life, is health. So when you distort the spine, you slow down that energy, because like stretching a rubber band, and now you're basically going to get sick. So check this out. With increasing kyphotic posture, there was a trend towards greater mortality, increase in death. Isn't that amazing? Furthermore, even at this mild degree of hyperkyphotic posture, what's that mean? Hey, I don't have to be all bent over like this. I can just be like this. You know how many people are walking around like this? All you got to do is go outside, and it's like freaking, zombie world out there, man. Looking at these postures, seeing these little humps on people's backs, and they're not even middle-aged. And when you see teenagers like that kid is so screwed. Get your kid to a chiropractor. Get them x-rayed. Someone that can change the structure, because their life is dependent on it. Guess what? So is yours. Put your finger on your chest, say, so is mine. Furthermore, in mild degree of hyperkyphotic posture, there is a definite greater rate of earlier mortality. Drop the mic, slam the book. My God, what do we have to do? What do I have to tell you? Go to Amazon, get this book, The Best Kept Secret to Heal Your Back Pain. If you're in the general public, go to elitecoachingllc.com. Hey, if you go there and you're in the general public, this is a general public version. Get Back to Health. You can get a free digital copy. But you know what? I don't read digital books very well. I need something physical. I gotta feel it and bang my head on it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna read it, right? So spend the $20, only $20, maybe $25, because it will save your life. Have your husband read it, have your wife read it, have your kids read it, and then find the right chiropractor. Go to Ideal Spine, idealspine.com. Look under Doctor Directory, because that's one of the best techniques that can actually take you from here, bring you back to here, and do what? Save your life. That's what it'll do. It'll save your life. Okay, man, we do this Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Be here. If you're a chiropractor, go join the Secrets of the Seven-Figure Lifestyle Practice Facebook page. Everybody else, go to Instagram, DiDomenico.Fred, and Dr.Fred DiDomenico on Facebook, because all these are going to get posted there. Hey, if we're already friends, friend me, and let's do this. Pay attention to these posts, because we're sending these out every week. All right, love you guys. Peace. See you next week.